We're sticking with the NBA because, hey, it's playoff time, baby. And Rob, woo-wee, what a series. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's you can't not agree with what you're saying when you talk about the unfortunate aspect of all these injuries, right? I mean, Giannis. Now, some of them have come back and played, but Giannis, Julius Randle, maybe Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Ja Morant. I know I'm missing a few. It's just it's injuries galore, right? But that said, even De'Aaron Fox, who played through a broken tip of his finger. That said, Rob, I think the playoffs have been great. For the sheer, I think, parity. And even now, Rob, you know that in the second round, you've got every seed represented, 1 through 8. Denver's a 1 seed. Boston's a 2 seed. Philly's a 3 seed. Phoenix is a 4 seed. The Warriors are a 6 seed. Knicks are a 5 seed. Miami's an 8 seed, and the Lakers are a 7 seed. It's crazy, but I think this next round can be just as good. And this, I mean, obviously people talking about LeBron and Steph, but this Lakers-Warriors series, I just think is going to be, as far as the drama quotient, everybody's into this. Everybody's excited about it. I got the Warriors, could go 7. I'm picking them in 6. Where are you at on this series?
Yeah, I'm not as hyped as most people on it. I get it, just because you got the names. So obviously whenever you have, Steph and LeBron, and you put those two together, you expect it to be something. I don't know. I'm still not as convinced of the Lakers. I know they beat Memphis, and Memphis was a higher seed. The Warriors, they struggled to get through Sacramento, but Sacramento's a good team, so I'm not saying
they were a higher seed too.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just that they hadn't been in the playoffs in 20 years or whatever the exact number is, and it's been a long time in coming, and a lot of young guys and a lot of people discounted them even from the beginning because they just didn't have any experience.
Right.
If you just look at the teams, you would expect the Warriors to win. I think it would be a major upset if the Lakers won. I do.
See, I think this is a fairly evenly matched series. I would not be surprised if the Lakers win. I think what the advantage they have is their size. The Warriors are tiny, Rob. I mean, they got one big man, Kevon Looney. I mean, Draymond obviously plays center, but he's not big. They got one big, and I think I'm picking them in 6. I think they'll be able to withstand it and overcome it. But AD and even LeBron is big. LeBron's about the size of Kevon Looney. Their size advantage is astronomical. And obviously AD's not just big. I mean, he's a great player. The thing, though, is that it's gonna be tough. Golden State against Sacramento. Sacramento does not protect the paint well. They do not protect the rim well. And you saw Steph going on in with the George Gervin-like finger rolls, and they were able to drive in that paint and finish. That's not going to be nearly as easy against the Lakers. The difference, though, is that when Memphis got cut off from the paint, they can't shoot. They're like one of the bottom, 3-point shooting teams in the league. And that's even with Luke Kennard, who was the best 3-point shooter in the league by percentage. Whereas if you cut the lane off from the Warriors, they are going to shoot the lights out. And that'll probably open up the paint anyway. So I think the Warriors win, but I look, LeBron has it, I think every other day schedule, Rob, I think that hurts him because of his age. But he's still LeBron, and he still, has played well this season. And obviously AD is playing terrific defense. And they're role players. I mean, It's a different one. It seems like every other game, from Austin Reeves doing it one game. D'Angelo Russell was huge in the closeout game. Rui Hachimura was big early in the series. So they've got a host of guys. Malik Beasley, we haven't seen him get off, but he might be due for one. So I think they got a nice team that fits together. They're huge, and they play great defense. And so I wouldn't be shocked if they won. But I think the Warriors pull this out.
Who was just on? Middlecoff said Warriors in 5. He had no respect for the Lakers at all. I'm like, wow, 5. It's just funny that he threw that out there. Like I'm not buying into them at all. That's what a 5-game. Because 6 would be a series. If they lose in 5, then you would think that they were overmatched, right? It can't be 5.
Yeah, 5 is pretty decisive.
Right, that's what I mean.
You know
right,
what I mean?
Right. You would look at
Let me ask you this, because, we talked a little bit about Steph, top 10, all that. Do you think whose legacy, I shouldn't say legacy, but for lack of a better term, I'll use that. Who do you think faces kind of a bigger, let's put it this way. Who has more to lose individually based on this series, whether or not their team wins? LeBron or Steph, in your view?
I don't think Steph has anything to lose, to be honest. I don't.
Really? Even though you think they should walk in this series?
Yep. I don't think he loses anything. This is LeBron's era. He's the guy who people are saying is in the GOAT conversation. So for LeBron to lose to him again, it hurts his I don't think Steph losing, they won the championship last year. I really don't believe if they lost, it'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe Steph lost to LeBron. I don't. I think it's more if LeBron loses again, then you got to start to look at how many times he lost to him in the finals, how many times Steph beat him, and this is in your era of the NBA supposedly, but Steph has beaten you more, won more championships over you. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I think LeBron is the only one that will lose something or the way people look at him, especially if Steph were to go past this and then, win a championship.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Rob. I don't think Steph, and some of it might just be that he's a smaller player too, far smaller. He's a point guard. But I agree that Steph really has nothing to lose. As you said, he's coming off a championship. He's now won 2 without Kevin Durant. LeBron, now I would not feel this way because I've said it. You've heard me say it, Rob, that to me, LeBron's playing with house money now. I think he can improve his legacy, but I don't think he can damage it. He's 38 years old, for goodness sake. He's in his 20th year. But that's me. That's me. I do think, Rob, that you already are starting to hear a little bit of rumbling. I've been texting with people and heard people saying, well, what if Steph had people texting me and heard people saying, what if Steph gets 5? This is LeBron. So like you said, it's supposed to be LeBron's era. And Steph's won more. If he gets this championship, he will have won more than LeBron. How can it be his era when Steph won more? And
he's beaten LeBron a number of times to
win them. He's beaten LeBron. Right. And this time, Rob, LeBron, he's always had great players, whether it was Kyrie, Kevin Love, whoever. But this time he's got AD. And Steph doesn't have a teammate the quality of Anthony Davis, even as great as Clay and Draymond are. So I would not go there, Rob, but if Steph were to beat LeBron in this series and win the finals, now we're a long way from that. But if he were to somehow win this championship, I do think, Rob, there would be people at least discussing, is Steph better than LeBron? Just because he won more during this era. Now, obviously, LeBron does a lot of things Steph can't do. But just based on the wins, and obviously Steph's had great individual success, I think there would be some people that might push it. Rob, we've already heard, I don't know if you heard Colin Cowherd, he says Steph's better than Magic now.
I think that's a prisoner of the moment. Magic Johnson was pretty dynamic.
Oh, he's awesome.
And I just, it's hard for me to just, when you remember where Kareem was and what he did when he got to the Lakers, and he won 5 championships. You know what I mean? He went to the championship. What was it? What was he? 5 and 4? Yeah, 9 times.
9 times.
It's hard. It's just hard for me to bypass Magic.
If Steph wins this 5th ring, which again we're ways away from.
Yeah, there's a lot to go before.
There's a lot to happen. I mean, he'd have to go through LeBron, maybe Durant, Jokic. Like it's a long, tough road if he were to do that. I'd have to see how it happens, but I think it might be a discussion. They're obviously complete right. You couldn't get to polar opposite players in every aspect, from their size to the way they play and all of that. But I think it might be a discussion. But I wouldn't put him ahead of LeBron. But it'd be interesting because I think some people might, and at least discuss it like we talk about the GOAT. And so I agree with you. I think LeBron has more to lose in this series than Steph does, even as LeBron is older.